We're going to play some more of the Spant Soulherder Collected Company deck that we were starting to play on Friday. We had a really good stream with it on Friday, although the leagues took a long time, so we were only able to play two. But we lost playing for 5-0 the second leagues. We 4-1 both of them, 8-2 overall. The main idea here again was we had a deck tech from Twitch user Spies and then some numbers. Who submitted a list similar to this with a collected company Soulherder, and basically the entire time post MH2, I've been trying to find another Soulherder shell that's like interesting and that's something we did a lot before Modern Horizons 2. But every time I start to build a deck, it just kind of morphs into 4-color Omnath, and I'm still honestly not that interested in working on 4-color Omnath. And I think that collected company, of course, also paired with the Eternal Witness Time Warp combo, but a collected company into all these value 3 drops, I think, is a really good reason to be on this version instead of just like inevitably molding into 80 card Yorion Soulherder. Is this the best version of the deck? I'm not 100% sure, but it felt very good on Friday. I've changed a couple sideboard cards. I got the 4th Meddling Mage and the 2nd Collector for 2 copies of Venser, which will help us a lot in the big mana matchups. Not that we played against any, I think. Maybe we played against Titan once, but I think that Venser is just like too powerful card in those matchups to omit. Draven, 17 months, appreciate you. I just built this as my go-to modern deck. Hell yeah, that's fast. Awesome. How about Flip as a 1 or 2 of a wall because it draws 2 off Coco. I think that the 0-4 body is so much better than the 1-1 body that I would prefer to not have it. It is a good hit off Coco, so I mean I don't hate that aspect of it, of course, but in my mind the problem is that like I think that the 0-4 walls are pretty good. They really slow the game down, and they slow the game down in a deck that is trying to assemble this combo after drawing tons and tons of cards. I think that's really valuable. They just completely stonewall Ragavans, stonewall Goblin Guides and stuff. Okay, so if I see a white card on top, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to want to Solitude Ephemerate, and if I don't see a white card, I probably just Solitude now. There's a Collected Company on top, so let's just Solitude now. Well, you can Ephemerate flip, but it doesn't draw you 2, because it has to enter from the library. Knight with the 12 months, happy anniversary. And Sea King with 11, thank you. Does Deputy X have permanent with Ephemerate? It does not, no, it does not. Skyclave Apparition does, or like at least you swap the token. The thing is, like, I think Knight just lines up better against Modern's threats overall, where Deputy is really good against Rhinos, it's really good against Urza Saga tokens, it's really good against Murktide Regent, in a way that Skyclave Apparition just isn't. How many Coco hits? Why aren't you running Deputy +1? We have 27 Coco hits, which is a totally fine number. Oftentimes going more than that post board. Glasspool Mimic kind of helping us cheat on our number of hits. I thought when it gets if you target it gets shuffled. Yeah, I kind of forgot that line of text, I guess. Alright, it should be safe to play this Wall of Omens since we take 2 damage from casting it, but then Wall of Omens blocks the Eidolon to gain us 2, so card neutral, I guess. Sebastian with the deck tech. Blue-black switcheroo. So this is Reanimator game 1, you side into Murktide. Okay, I do not like siding into Murktide Regent specifically for your switcheroo, because this is still a threat that like relies on the graveyard. So like if your plan is to be a Reanimator deck game 1 and sideboard into threats that are resilient to graveyard hate, I don't think it makes much sense to be playing Murktide Regent. Obviously, Murktide is going to still be resilient to cards like Relic of Progenitus, Unlicensed Hearse, Nile Spellbomb, but it's going to be weaker against Rest in Peace, Leyline of the Void, those kinds of cards. And when this is like your entire sideboard plan, you need it to work like every single time, if that makes sense. Muddle the Mixture is not a playable modern card. I would really recommend. Oh, dude, they have second Eidolon. I just like have 2 4-drops in hand. I would really recommend omitting Muddle the Mixture from any deck you ever put together. Well, let me. I think I'm getting a Plains here. It's a cool idea, though. It's a cool idea. Foreshadow. I think you could do something like Foreshadow, Foreshredder. Maybe 3 Turok, maybe not 3 Turok. Maybe play like 2 Kaito on the sideboard. Kaito, kind of interesting. Let's see, do I want to endurance them? I guess so. If they shuffle, let's 2 more fetch lands back in the deck. Not the best hits, but we get to stonewall the Eidolons. We just maybe start pressuring their life total. I'm not sure. It's also maybe you could possibly like splash. I mean, the best thing to do is probably splash red. Splash red, and then play Ragavan over Murktide Regent, and play the 4th Ledger Shredder over like the 4th Shadow. Especially because people are going to probably show cheap removal against you. Probably like 3rd Snapcaster over the Metal the Mixture. That card is just so bad. Cool deck though, very cool deck. I don't think I'll change too much else besides that. Splash red for Ragavan, I think it's just gotta be the line. You could do it over like if you like up the fetch lane count to 11 or 10. And then ooh. Guess I'll time warp. Up the fetch lane count and then play just a 1. Red Shockland is probably gonna be fine. It'll give you 12 red sources on turn 1. I think Stifle would be great for Modern. I don't think it would be great for Modern. I think that Stifle is a generally pretty unfun card. I also think one big issue with Modern right now is that a lot of decks are really warped around very low mana curves, and Stifle is definitely a card, if it's in a format with fetch lands, is going to warp the format around lower and lower mana curves, which I think is would be a negative addition to the format. Okay, I guess we'll take double Soulherder. Am I planning on playing any physical RCQs? I've played like 3 or 4 so far. The last one I played in was a 126 player sealed double masters event that I ended up getting 9th place in. Yeah, Coco's working overdrive today. Okay, Coco into 2 Nissian Coursers. Guess we have we're 1 point short of lethal next turn. But opponent's only got 1 card in their hand. We're at 14. We should be good to go here. Got some Knight of Autumns in the board. Got some Burrenton Forge-Tenders in the board. Oh, I forgot about the Rift Bolt. Okay, so the last card is Boros Charm. And they draw a 1 mana burn spell. And then they draw Boros Charm next turn. We die. But outside of that, I don't think we can lose. Okay, probably can't lose. But RCQ this weekend, I'm thinking of bringing Calibrated Blast. Am I too crazy? So compared to the Magic Online metagame, the paper metagame is like very heavily skewed towards like Murktide, Blue-White Control, and Boomer Jund. And I think that there's a higher presence of counterspell decks. Although you're probably actually great against Blue-White Control because of your uncounterable lands. You could beat Murktide too. You're probably. I don't think that you're crazy for doing so. But my current evaluation of the paper RCQ metagame is the metagame is so heavily skewed towards Murktide, Boomer Jund, Blue-White Control that like 4-color Omnath is just like unfortunately the best pick. I think. Maybe it's like a weird deck like Esper Food, but you know there's still like maybe enough big mana to scare you off of it. But if there's not enough big mana to scare you off 4-color, then maybe that shouldn't be the case. But I digress. I don't see that metagame changing very much either. Magus to go 3 months. Appreciate you. Hammer's pretty popular too. At least locally. And then I will say that Tron is definitely there. It's around. It's somewhat popular, and it's like it's good against 4-color, but the problem is it's bad against a lot of the other decks in the format. There's a food deck in the top 8. Yeah, there's an Esper Food deck, or someone tagged me that they wanted RCQ with the Esper Food deck recently. My next RCQ is another limited one, so I'm not sure what I would be playing if I was playing one this weekend. Okay, I think I'm going to get Bant Triome into type Glasspool Mimic Forge-Tender next turn. Can also Solitude a Eidolon next turn. It masters exactly one hammer paper. Yeah, I do feel like the number of hammer players seems to be really polarizing from what I've been hearing. Like locally where I am, there's a pretty solid number of it, but I guess maybe always more aggro in Texas. It was meant to meme. I went 3-1. Yeah, I was just with mono white tokens, lost to the sauce. Yeah, sometimes you get lost to the sauce. Sometimes you 3-1. Any budget option over Solitude deck? Not really. Like you could play Prismatic Ending. You could play play Ontanice actually. Ontanice would be fine. Ontanice will be just fine. Just one RCQ with a list inspired by Modern Despot. Awesome. Glad you like the deck. Congrats to you. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go. Well, yeah. I have another wall effect with the Ice-Fang. I can just Solitude this here. I'm seeing 4-color playing Blood Moon effects to be Tron absurd. Yeah, although they should. I guess Blood Moon beats Tron and Titan, but Charmal is definitely the better anti-Tron card. Think Yawgmoth has a good 4-color matchup? I do not know. I don't. I don't think it's super bad. But I think that I would say that 4-color is usually like a slight favorite. Okay, let's play both of these now. I'll also the same 4-color player in the Swiss and top 8 Brutal. You're playing Rhinos, right, Doom? Yeah, I had a weekend free of Magic. It was a really good weekend. Really fun weekend. I've been jamming Esper 8th Mage deck lately. I know it's not huge and larger meta. I'm playing against a bunch of decks that run Blood Moon, getting wrecked by the card. Any tips to avoid the matchup? I don't know, because it's like the way that the Esper 8th Mage's touched mana base is built, it's kind of like inherently weaker to Blood Moon than the older versions of the deck, right? Because you're playing Witch's Cottage, and so the older versions could afford really easily to play a island and a plains. I don't think you really can. It's weird that you're playing against a lot of Blood Moon decks. Like, if this is just like your local FNM metagame, maybe you just switch off the Cottage tech and you switch back to an older list, but you could also just like I don't know how difficult it is necessarily to just like fetch a swamp and try to be on Persist Unmarked Grave. You can still win sometimes there. You have discard for Blood Moon effects. You can just hope to beat it too. Okay, I think I'm gonna Soulherder this turn and play tap Glasspool Mimic so I don't have to like shock or fetch down to 9. Then I can just main phase Coco next turn. I played this deck. It went 4-1, 11-2 in games. Deck seems cracked. Yeah, I've had a really good record with it so far. This is just my 11th match in stream though. Okay, not gonna Forge-Tender just yet. Hopefully just hit Knight of Autumn for Coco and then flicker it and then life is easy. Another Forge-Tender is definitely a good one. I guess I'll get a Glasspool Mimic. Not that we have anything to really flicker for value right here. Not going to fetch to play my extra Hierarch though. Oh wait, hold on. What if I should probably just flicker the Mimic and then have another Forge-Tender in play. Yeah, like right now, I'm really not building very many of my lists to care about Blood Moon because Blood Moon is really uncommon on Magic Online, and is I think pretty uncommon in like your RCQ metagames too. It'll pop up every now and then, but it's like the worst. Like Blood Moon is worse positioned in Modern than it's been maybe ever right now. Worth copying another Fortune? Yeah, I think so. All right, cash one in. Seeing my next card? Oh, okay. Thank you. We will be singing the next card. Headphone users be warned. Headphone users be warned. Night of Autumn! A pretty dang good one to be singing, huh? A pretty dang good one to be singing. Just best possible draw. Blood Moon and Astrolabe meta. The funny thing about Blood Moon and Astrolabe meta was the Astrolabe decks played Blood Moon. And the like Tron and Titan were both like pretty popular at the time to try to combat the 4-color Astrolabe decks, and so like the Astrolabe decks just played Blood Moon and Magus back then. Maybe it was about the same. Like, you know, like you definitely also didn't see like Ponza or Blood Moon back then. Alright, looks like we're gonna be off to a good start to the day. Yeah, and they still do today. Although it's not like super, it's not as common. But it's very obnoxious that they do, for sure. Dude, I remember I played against, I was playing so I was playing a blue-red control deck with no islands in it. Oh, sorry, I meant to get the forest, whatever. With no islands in it, so I could play Boil on the sideboard against the Astrolabe Mystic Sanctuary decks. And I think you had a really good matchup against those, but I ended up getting paired against, 5-colored Niv Mizzet when I was like 5-1 or something in this like showcase challenge, and they Blood Mooned me. The 5-colored Niv deck Blood Mooned me, and I got crushed. It was disgusting. Or it might have actually even been Magus of the Moon. Okay, next time Sorcery. So I can Forge-Tender this Deflecting Palm, right? Yeah, I should be able to Forge-Tender this. What's my opinion of Glimpse combo current meta? I think it's always been a little underplayed. I think it's a good deck, a powerful deck, one that I would recommend to basically anybody. No, it doesn't do the damage a creature does. It says Deflecting Palm deals that much damage to the controller, so I think you're wrong. Oh, in fact, they took the damage. Oh, they took this damage, right? Yeah. The damage was prevented, it says in the chat. I do hate to say the W word, but sometimes it doesn't happen that often, but sometimes the chatter is wrong. So we're on the draw against Dingo. It's a pretty slow hand. Might keep it against Dingo, who plays a lot of slower decks too. Her W, 17 months, appreciate you. 3 years of Merfolk meta, yeah. Yeah, I've been cashing in my MTGO premium on Dingo lately. Just want to see Esper Time Civ 1 RCQ was great. Yeah, I think someone tagged me on Twitter saying that they won with the Esper Time Civ list. Congratulations to you. I didn't get to play any RCQs this weekend, but I did have a really good weekend. I saw the Kendrick Lamar concert. One of my best friends came up. We got to hang out all weekend. It was a great time. Great time. Okay, green-black food. Modern Goblins aggro Snoop combo. Snoop combo for sure. I don't think that the combo version are very good. But I do think that I don't think the aggro versions are very good. The Snoop combo ones are good, I think. I can show you the list that I broke the trophy record with. I haven't really touched it much since then because we played a lot of it back then, and so like a lot of the goblins decks that sorry, this is not the right version. So a lot of the decks I was grinding the trophy race with back in the day, I'm still like a little burned out on. It's just gobos. I'll look for it on the other monitor, I guess. Okay. But what am I put it to? Profane Tutor. Wow, Profane Tutor. Interesting. I think I'm just gonna get Temple Garden, Wall of Omens here. Excuse me. Yeah, this was the list we broke the trophy record with. Definitely was feeling very powerful last time I was playing it. I doubt I would be changing too much besides the sideboard. I really liked all these Mog Fanatics in the main deck to help combat Ragavan. There's some kind of graphical bug here. There's the Expert Sport Marshals. Profane Tutor, huh? Is there a zombie deck on Stream Deck? Yeah, there's plenty. Thanks again, Shocker, for the 13. Favorite song he performed? When he did Backstreet Freestyle, I was just like, you know, I had a Ratatouille moment, and I was just all of a sudden 18 again. Oh, probably a Reanimator version, huh? He just like he did Backstreet Freestyle. I just had a Ratatouille moment where I was like immediately 18 again, listening to that song in my my old O2 Honda Accord. So that one probably had like the biggest emotional impact on me. But I'd say the best performance I probably liked All Right the most, or maybe Count Me Out. Count Me Out was really good. The steppers themselves did a great job. Okay, I think this turn... Oh, I can't go Hierarch Ephemerate because I have the Glasspool Shores. I think I'll just go Hierarch then. Money Trees, hearing Money Trees live was really cool. Money Trees, I remember, was a song I didn't like care for that much as a kid, but now like it's just my maybe my favorite song on the album. I almost went to Soulherder this Friday. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I'm excited to get a bigger sample size. Give Mardu Rinmer a try with Ragavan Fury Spyro Fable. I don't think I've played that exact version, but I've played Mardu Reanimator variants in the past. Oh, are we getting Gorios? Sick. Okay. I'll let Dingo get the flawless victory. Let's go. Wait, Mausoleum Secrets? What is going on? A brew in my modern format? What in the world? Okay, we're bringing the 4th Solitude, all the Endurances, the Collector Ouphe. Deputy's probably good too. I don't know, maybe we don't want the full 3. Night of Autumn's probably good. Yeah, we could probably move off the Time Warp combo. A lot of times when you bring in the extra Solitude, you have to go off the Time Warp combo. Can cut like 2 walls pretty easy. Can cut the second Mimic pretty easy. Let's see, this is 29 hits for Coco. Maybe we'll cut a 4th Wall of Omens. Can I chain my spoils with Deputy over Skyclave? I had Skyclave but no Deputy in my collection. Basically, though, I much appreciate you. So, like, before Image 2, I love Skyclave Apparition. I played a billion Soulherder Skyclave decks. Just love the 2 cards. But after Modern Horizons 2, Skyclave is not very well positioned, and Deputy is. I know it's kind of weird, but they just kind of flip-flopped, where new really important threats to answer became, like, Urza Saga tokens, Murktide Regent, Rhino tokens, are, you know, kind of the main ones to concern here. And Deputy, like, actually lines up pretty well against... Oh, weird hand. Deputy lines up well against all of those, and Skyclave lines up well against none of them. Do you go down a company or 2 and you side out a bunch of creatures? Well, since my sideboard is also, like, full of creatures, too, so it's very rare. Oh, Dingo's willing to 4. It's pretty rare for me to actually just side out a ton of creatures, I think. But you can consider trimming one. Athena, hello. Oh, I thought she opened the door by herself. I didn't see. Athena. Yeah, Athena had some cheese last night, and her stomach's a little upset that she had the cheese touch.
Yeah, but she's not, like, she doesn't want to go downstairs to go outside.
Yeah, she was outside all morning. Gay. Ooh, good draw. Do you think having this kind of so easy for answers like Endurance and Solitude is too much? Not even for a single mana, you answer so many things. I don't think that, no. I also don't usually like these kind of questions so much where, like, a lot of times, like, phrase the questions like this, don't you think all these free answers are too much? Like, it's kind of like a leading question. Obviously, that's the opinion that you have. It's my opinion, actually, that until Modern Horizons 2, threats have always been better than answers. And I think that the Invoke Incarnations do a good job of keeping a lot of things in Modern in check. It's okay for you to disagree, but I'm a big MH2 fan. I'm a big MH2 fan. It's okay to disagree, but the chat box is also, like, not your area to vent about the format either. Alright, good draw, good draw. How do you combat Infect decks with new Esper Reanimator deck? I feel like you can't afford to wait till turn 4 to Aether Mage versus Infect. You bring out all your endings and Thoughtseize, hope you have a disruption. Infect is not a strategy I think about, really, since it's completely unpopular, but you're a Solitude deck. I can't imagine a Solitude deck is going to struggle too much. I do think I would bring in the prismatic endings. You could consider cutting your Aether Mage's touches, but Aether Mage's touch bringing back Solitude is probably a good plan too. But okay, Grief pitch Gristlebrand. Okay. I would recommend not being too worried about it. About Infect. Your Solitude deck, you have Grief. I think that it kind of sounds like you played against like Infect one time and they got lucky. Is it viable to play one Power Conduit and Affinity against repeatable tutors with Saga? I don't like that in regular Affinity. That's like your only synergy with Power Conduit. I think that 1 or 2 Power Conduits and Hardened Scales, like that's been around for a long time. I think that that's viable because you have a few more synergies with that card. But I think you need more than just 4 as a Saga to support Power Conduit. Jose, so your invite? Yeah, I didn't get all the details about Jose's tournament results. Okay, taking Solitude. But ref beats, I assume. I think I will go ahead and just use my mana, cast an Endurance here. Okay, those Deputy being able to clean up Urza Saga tokens, definitely very nice aspect of the card. I lost Jose. Yeah, I kind of gathered that from the comment. Rough beats. Opponent's playing a so this is Young Dingo. Young Dingo is another modern streamer who likes to play a lot of cool stuff. So this is a green-black food deck that is using Goryo's Vengeance to throw a Gristlebrand at your opponent and playing Profane Tutor and Mausoleum Secrets to help symbol the combo. And it's kind of a lot going on. How do you feel about this X mana base? Isn't Bant plus Snow a bit too hard? I thought the mana was fine. You're gonna have to understand that Ice-Fang is not gonna have Death Touch super fast in most games, but the Bant Triome, I think is a kind of a lifesaver for the deck, and I'm not too worried about it overall. So I don't think the Dingle will attack into my second Endurance. Does attack to try to bait it. I'm not gonna take the bait. We're gonna hold the Endurance in hand, have the green card for the pitch to Coco. Yeah, just going to Deputy the tokens. Where the Time Warp's forward, therefore winning the game. This deck's main win condition is Time Warp plus Eternal Witness combo. Time Warp, Eternal Witness, and then either Soulherder or Ephemerate gives you infinite turns. And this is the way that you overpower any deck in the format. 4-color, blue-white control are the main ones that you kind of want to like have that plan for. But it's important for the Tron and Titan matchups too. Yeah, Deputy's just like so weirdly lines up while post-image too. A card that I really didn't like before all these tokens and stuff started flying around everywhere. Okay, so I don't have a white card to pitch to the Solitude. So we'll see if they have a Daredevil in their hand. Although they haven't been tapping the cookbook, so I kind of doubt it. Kobe, 14 months, appreciate you. Oh, they do have the Daredevil. They have a budget replacement for Endurance in that deck. I don't know, like, you know, the MH2 cards are, like, the Evoke Incarnations are very expensive for a reason. They're, like, super unique effects that are not very easily replaceable. I think that if you don't have Solitudes, you can play Onthanice pretty easily. Onthanice is kind of does the same thing of being a flexible removal spell, and you're already playing Snow Basics for Ice-Fang. I'm going to hold up the Endurance here. And the Coco, of course, but I don't really feel that the Endurances are very easily replaceable. Like, you could play the 4th Eternal Witness over the first Endurance in the main, and then you could play, you know, Rest in Peace. And the Rest in Peace is so awkward with your Eternal Witnesses, though. I don't know. Mim, 8 months, thank you. Dude, Deputy is cracked. Your 8th Mage's touches was quarterfinals opponent. I was kind of surprised to win after showing a blade having red one lost. Awesome. Yeah, I think you're probably pretty favored in that matchup with all your Graveyard Hate and Asmas and stuff. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna play a third deputy over second knight. No, I didn't play any RCQs this weekend. I took the weekend off of Magic. Oh yeah, you can play Renegade Rally over Endurance. That's true, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about maybe playing that. Would your deck take a Pioneer deck with 2 subs? Yes, I will. Maybe trim on Ewit instead. I feel like I don't know that the disenchant effect is actually like that valuable here because I think they I guess they're an Urza Saga deck. Okay. Okay. See if that went through. Didn't. Okay. That was probably good though. This game's fine. We have Solitude Endurance. We have a Hierarch that seems like it's pretty. They don't have like much removal. Aether Vial. I think you can play Collected Company or Aether Vial. I don't think you can play both. I think Collected Company is way better. Which message to bring in Venser? Big mana decks mostly, like bouncing like Tron lands, bounce lands is really nice, and then flickering Venser over and over again. But you can also bring it in against like most combo decks too. Living End Rhinos. Blue White Control. Every matchup. So we missed it on our first look at a land here. Oh no, we were on the draw. Been debating on building this deck of paper, but indie game and time limit seems difficult. A lot of matchups. Yeah, you probably need to get some practice going, but I think it's probably if you can like learn how to pie out the deck quickly. I don't know that's going to be that big of a problem. Okay, so do we want to Solitude this or Endurance here? I think Endurance then get to gain to 15. I'm going to pitch the Knight of Autumn. I feel like if I was Dingo, I would have just cited out the. I would have cited out the Goryo's plan, seeing like all these Solitudes and Endurances. Maybe pitching the Knight was wrong, because now I just can't kill the Saga, but I don't know if I care that much about killing the Saga. Oh, I probably shouldn't have played my Plains though, because now if I draw a tap land, the Glasspool Mimic, I can't Coco next turn necessarily. I can also just like the Deputy cleans up the Urza Saga tokens really well. That I also don't like. I just don't know that I care that much about it. Yeah, I'm just gonna main phase this Coco, and I'm going to hit well, manifesting it. Why Sorcery Coatl? I was thinking that I would want to like find a land to play, but obviously like the way I sequenced that wasn't the case. But I realized that I should have sorcery speeded it to play a land tapped, and then I realized that, but you know, it's just like too late. I at that point shouldn't have. Oh, Dingo won the challenge yesterday. Yeah, I was very unplugged from Magic this weekend. It was a very good, small little break for me. But congrats to Dingo. Yeah, so yeah, Friday, my best friend drove up. We picked her up from the bus station. We went out and partied a little bit, and then we had a Kendrick concert on Saturday. It was awesome. It was just the best time ever. And then Sunday, I drove her to the bus station. Then me and Esther just like played Persona 5 all day, and I worked on some Channel Fireball stuff. He split, didn't finish watching Fight Around. Cool. What was Dingo playing? What's the deck you played at your last Modern Challenger tournament? The last Modern tournament I played Rakdos mid-range. It was the smallest RCQ I've played. It was like 30-something people. I beat Titan in round 1, and then round 2, Rob Cloudblazer supporting stream because you used all my favorite words today. Bant, Soulherder, and Coco. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, this deck's been awesome so far. Rob Cloudblazer, I bet, does like Bant, Soulherder, Coco. Okay, so yeah, I beat Titan round 1. Then round 2, I played against 4-color Omnath. I won game 1 on the back of a good Turok. And then I lost game 2. It was a really weird game 2 where I had like I had what I thought was a really good hand. It was double Inquisition, Croxus, and Pyromancer, and I think 3 lands. And I Inquisitioned my opponent, and she's kept a hand of 2 lands, Omnath, 4 5-drops. And so both of my Inquisitions are dead. She immediately rips like land, Risen Reef land. It was brutal. And then my game 3, I mulliganed to 4 and die. It was rough. And then the next game I lost to Amulet Titan, and then that was my tournament. So I think we Soulherder, Deputy the cookbooks here. Ephemerate, how do you feel about adding Sphinx of Steel Wind to replace Ashiok versus Amulet Titan, since you can tutor him but not Ashiok? Well, you already have Terrasdon for the big mana matchups, right? Also, I don't think that does Amulet Titan care about Sphinx of the Steel Wind? I know it is. I know that like it blocks the Titans, but they just kill it with Dryad Valakut. Yeah, I know Deputy looks dopey, but it's just good against all the MH2 cards. It's pro red also. Yeah, the lands aren't red. The lands are colorless, so it doesn't have protection from Valakut. So even if Dingo does have Secrets plus or Goryo's plus Emrakul, no more discard outlets, but we'd have a Solitude anyways. Oh yeah, they can also Besage you Sphinx. Okay. So I can just attack with the Soulherder for victory here, right? Opponent's playing a green-black food brew using Goryo's Vengeance Emrakul. Very cool. I think we're about to be 10-2 overall with this deck. 10-2 overall. Hopefully we can pick up a trophy. We have 4-1 the first 2 leagues, the deck. People I control can play 1 or 2 Detention Sphere. I think that it would have to be like a very serious metagame call, right? So, like, I would consider 1 or 2 Detention Sphere if decks like Rhinos, like if basically Urza Saga decks and Rhinos are popular, then it's something you could consider. I like to be on the play with a hand like this. So if this is Murktide, the Murktide matchup has felt very good so far. Obviously, it could also be Living End. We do have an Endurance in our hand if it is Living End. But I do think Living End is probably overall not a very good matchup. What are this deck's weak matchups? Living End, I guess, is probably the deck I want to see the least. Living End, like Tron Titan. But we do have the main deck Endurances. You know, we've got some game. So yeah, so if they take the Endurance, I can just witness it back next turn. No foil Endurances. Yeah, I'm just using like the tickets I get from chests to like refill up my collection. I sold most of my like promos and stuff during the last trophy race for like trophy fuel because I didn't want to spend like cash on leagues and stuff. But I've been rebuilding my arts lately. Some Black Red Rock today. Probably not today. Maybe this week. What does Bodhi usually cost per month? I usually make money on it. So I pay for a rental service to use the cards. My rental service costs me like $45 a month because I've had it for a long time. The price has decreased for a long time. And I'll usually make a few hundred tickets a month, but that usually goes into arts and stuff. But I don't know. I like to open the chest on stream, and I always find that's a good time. I probably should cast this Wall of Omens. I plan on playing Anvil anytime soon. Anvil is one of the decks I've had on the docket for a little while. I would like to get to it this week, but I've been talking a lot about my process lately, and so it's like. Every single day, I'm always trying to find something like new and interesting if I can. I can't always, but ideally I'm able to find something new, something interesting to do. Like this deck, like the Esper, Aether Mage's Touch deck, those are big hits. Like Gruul Throsta, big hit, you know. Not possible every day, but I like to do it as often as possible. And then on days where, you know, the brews I'm working on are misses, or I get a little lost in the sauce, then I've got like decks I like to circle back to. So Rakdos Anvil is pretty high right now on the list of decks I'm trying to circle back to, but dude, they must have drawn other living ends if they're going to concede like that. That's so freaking lucky. So lucky. Especially because this matchup gets a lot better post-board. Gets to bring in 3 Meddling Mage, extra Endurances, a couple of Vensers. I think the Time Warp combo is like probably decent too. Yeah, so yeah, I also like the Anvil deck's a little bit of a... It is a little bit of in a weird spot, right? Because we had so many different versions, and I feel like I was like, when we were working on it really hard, I was like super hyper focused on it. I was very in tune with the lists. But now I don't really feel like so in tune with it, and so I would need to spend some time off stream working on it, which I do want to do. I might be cutting all the Solitudes. Yeah, I think that's fine. We have Venser to be able to bounce big stuff. We have Ice-Fang to be able to block big stuff. I'm at 27 hits for Coco. Oh yeah, Blossoms over Omens for Endurance. Great point, good point, good point. Think Sigma Prelate is modern power level. Yeah, I've played it in the past. It's definitely not like a bad card, but like I thought that it was really good when like wait, what? Oh, endurance. Okay, so maybe I bring in Deputy again. And maybe my Meddling Mage just wins me this game. We also have the Time Warp combo. Yeah, so like yeah, I thought that Sanctum Prelate was like pretty good. Oh man. I thought it was pretty good back when like Cascade and Hammer and Murktide were just like the only meta decks. Like 4-color Omnath was still really like just not on the scene. And that was like back when I also liked the Rockrick deck a lot with the Chalices. Before the dark times. All right, just gonna get us. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Wait, what? I guess this would probably go over there. I probably just name Living End again, right? Though. I think I don't Endurance Ephemerate either. But yeah, 0-mana interaction, 0-mana interaction, get ya. What's the subscription service? I use Mana Traders. Oh, thank you, Marv. I use Mana Traders, but I think the Card Hoarder is the better service if you're just getting into it for the first time, but it has less availability. But I would recommend trying to get into Card Hoarder first. Pioneer Esper thing. Okay, I don't like the idea of playing cards like Sun Cleanser to power up Thing in the Ice. Unless I'm missing something about this card. Just being great somehow. Like, Thing in the Ice is already a pretty well-positioned card in Pioneer. It doesn't really need much work to be better. And this is also kind of like a really important tip or like general advice for brewing is that when you're brewing, you want cards that make your good spells better. I should have not played my Forester because they Architects me. I just want to shuffle. Yeah. You want things that are going to make your good cards better. You don't. But sorry. I misspoke a little bit. You want cards that they have subtlety here. They do. I can just put this on top, I guess. Sorry. You want good cards to help power up your other good cards. You don't want to be playing mediocre cards like Sun Cleanser that are really individually weak on their own, really bad if they just have Fatal Push for your Ice-Fang, you know. You want cards that are going to make your other powerful spells that you feel like you're incentivized to play stronger. You don't want to synergize with Ice-Fang with cards like this. I also see you're playing Ashiok Nightmare Weaver. That card is very cool, and I have a soft spot for it, but I also actually view it to be, like, completely unplayable, unfortunately. I think I'm going to block like this, and so I can just gain 3 life with the Ephemerate. Maybe I'll name a Curator of Mysteries here, get a little fancy. Yeah, name Curator of Mysteries, and so they just can't play that post-combat thing. I can rename Living End. Definitely need to draw something though. Do you have this time warp at least? Although we just drew something. So I think the plan is probably gonna have to be Flash and Endurance, have them not have subtlety, eat both architects, go to 1. Its opponent's Shredders. You just don't register Sun Cleanser as a fair card in Pioneer. There's just like way better things to do. I do really like Sedgemoor Witch. Like people just can't kill black creatures in Pioneer. I do think that Sedgemoor Witch is like a legit card. I wouldn't play any Ashiok. I'd play 4 Treasure Cruise. I think Faithful Absence is kind of stinky. I'd be interested in playing like Spell Pierce over Dovin's Veto in the main deck. Oh, I actually don't know. Like, yeah. Also, just don't splash white for Sun Cleanser. I just noticed like, you're splashing white for Sun Cleanser and sideboard cards. That's your mana is just so much better if you're Dimir instead. Yeah, you can play Heartless Act to synergize with Thing in the Ice, but Heartless Act is also like, I don't think a very good removal spell in Pioneer overall. You still need much work to make a Thing in the Ice good. Okay, they did find a Curator. We are not dead, but would not mind drawing something. It's definitely something. I think. Oh, dude, Vanishing Verse. Yeah, if you are gonna splash white, yeah, I agree. Vanishing Verse is like the best removal spell in Pioneer. You should be playing 4 of them, like over like the Faithful Absences, Bloodchief's Thirst. Like that's a card like to actually splash white for. Or just over the Sun Cleansers. But you also have to get the Ashioks out of here. Probably want to play like Tainted Indulgence over Ashiok, where Tainted Indulgence is going to help fuel your Treasure Cruises and help trigger your Thing in the Ices. Help trigger your Ledger Shredders. Sideboard is like also like way all over the place. Oh, I just noticed you have no pushes in the main. Yeah, I don't understand sideboarding third. I don't know. The deck's kind of all over the place, to be honest, but like main decking Faithful Absence, Bloodchief's Thirst over pushing Vanishing Verses. It's also not correct. Okay, so let's go. I think we double block here, chump here. Yeah, you can't correct the fetch cast time warp because we're at 1. Yeah, then Ephemerate the snake. I don't know what I don't think the Pious Apprentice is a good sideboard card. I'm not really sure what the idea is. Cards and graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities because it's the anti-Greasefang card. Just play more hearses. You probably want to play like 3 hearse before the first copy of that card. Let me focus up a little bit. I think those are my notes. So I think I'm just gonna leave back. Leave back Ice-Fang. Attack for 8. And then I think I really need to prioritize having another blocker for Curator with either Endurance or Ice-Fang instead of just getting the Soulherder online. And then, so they block here, they're dead. Okay, they just concede. Alright, 3-0 on the day. 2-0 Living In feels nice. I don't think that matchup is very good. Obviously, lucky to draw one of our Endurances game 1. Canister, thank you for the raid. Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate you. Alright, probably keepable hand. Does Moto give a chance to undo or lethal click? Yeah, if you click the fetch land, I think you just die. Okay, another probably scary matchup. We do have the Vensers of the sideboard now to help in against Tron. We have Venser, Collector Ouphe, and then Meddling Mage is not very good against them, but we might bring it in. We have the extra time warp plan as well. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Hello, Athena. Poor Athena. Reveals Expedition map. Okay, well, maybe we'll just get super whitelisted, and all of my opponents' like linear decks that I'm scared of will keep unkeepable hands like this. I don't know. I mean, I guess they had Chromatic Star Stirrings. They're like, I'll find a land, and they were wrong. I'm gonna prioritize, I think, getting all white mana here so I can like triple Ephemerate and just grow the Soulherder to be gigantic really quickly. So I'll get Plains here, I guess. Yeah, I love Soulherder Ephemerate. Definitely a lot of experience in the archetype. Is this the spiritual successor to 4-color Yorion Kiki Chord? I would say it's not exactly the spiritual successor to that list exactly, but I've played a lot of like Soulherder, you know, not like non like Kiki Soulherder decks in the past. I played, you know, Bant and Jeskai variants a lot. This is finally a decent version of that. I can't believe they just never find a land either. And we weirdly enough have a somewhat aggressive draw. And we have the Time Warp combo too. I think we just have lethal next turn. How does Soulherder handle Torpor if opponent plays from the sideboard? You just freaking lose, dude. Actually, we are 1-0 against Torpor with this deck so far. You just lose to Torpor when you play these decks, guys. Sometimes you're soft to like super narrow sideboard cards that are really unpopular. And if you feel like those like kind of sideboard cards are popular, you should be playing a different deck. Okay. Well, that was like the weirdest game I've ever played. I'm gonna bring in the third time warp, first Collector Ouphe, 2 Vensers. Do I even play Meddling Mage? This card kind of like I don't know. I feel like these Bant decks like will really often bring in Meddling Mage, but because they just don't have better options. I do like that Deputy hits Worm Coil better than Knight of Autumn, hits Karn. I think Deputy's better than Knight of Autumn. I think I probably want like 2 Solitudes though. Okay, so this is 27 hits for Coco. I think playing 1-2 Liberator endings the board to find a way to deal with those issues. I mean, it's not those issues. It's one issue, specifically Torpor Orb. I think you could play 100 matches of this deck and play against Torpor Orb like 1 or 2 times. And in my opinion, that's not worth it to dedicate sideboard cards for, especially when you're still going to lose to Torpor Orb most of the time. If you play 4 Prismatic Endings in the sideboard, you're still going to lose to Torpor Orb most of the time that your opponents play it, you know? They'll just get it back with Karn the Great Creator again after you exile it, or you know, it's still going to be super, super good against you, even if you have some answers to it. It's hard to guarantee that you're going to draw them in any timely fashion. 25 hits? No, we have 26 because the Mimics. Right? Oh, the Vensers are not hits. Sorry, yes, 25 hits, 25 hits. So maybe we do something like -1 Coco, +1 Meddling Mage. We did board up a couple 4-drops. Okay, pretty slow hand. My opponent's only Mold to 6, and we do have a Venser, which is our best card of the matchup, but you on the draw especially, you really want a Noble Hierarch to be able to play this on turn 3. I feel like I'm having a hard time finding a mulligan here against an opponent who has like no mulligan discipline, so I'm going to try to keep it too. At least one Besage you can fit instead of a 10th fetch land, maybe. Well, I don't know. Like, you forget that, like, this is an Ice-Fang deck, so playing any land that only taps for one color, it isn't a snow land in your Ice-Fang deck is a pretty big cost. Like, I would be pretty interested in playing, like, the third snow-covered forest before the first copy of Besage you. Super rewarded for the keep. You know what I mean? Like, I think if this wasn't an Ice-Fang deck, sure, I'd be like pretty into a Besage you, but I think because we're Ice-Fang, I'm not into it. What about Lavinia over Meddling Mage? I really like that Meddling Mage can name Primeval Titan. I've been playing against like more Titan than Tron lately anyways. That's the main reason I have Meddling Mage over Lavinia, is that you can name Primeval Titan. What, not Cooling Oracle so Wild Blossom? The 0/4 body is better than the 1/1 body. Ice-Fang instead of Wall, I guess. Alright, they're finding Tron. Okay, so let's go ahead and prioritize getting to 4 mana next turn, and I don't think I want to hold the Ephemerate for Venser. I don't want to Ephemerate my Ice-Fang. I think I'll still play this tap land here. And they probably have Tron. We'll see how much the damage is. Venser can potentially bounce back. Hers is mine. 5 mana post mine. They have Karn. They do have Karn. So if they just like slam grab Sundering Titan, then I should be pretty safe to just hold up Venser this next turn. Unless my opponent goes like coding target myself. Oh, they get Torpor Orb. Fuck. Might have to follow my advice of just lose. So I just main phase Coco instead? I do have one Meddling Mage. There's Meddling Mage Torpor Orb chat. Alright, mediocre creature beatdown it is. Alright, they're not Torpor Orbing. Let's go. Let's go. So I can go... They reveal Karn Liberated with the Stirrings. I think it's almost definitely correct to just Time Warp first. No, we don't quite win. We need to get to 8 mana before we can Eternal Witness Time Warp and just start taking infinite turns. And we probably have to, you know, go Venser plus Ephemerate soon. Like this turn. Yeah, maybe it's best to just go Venser, Ephemerate, bounce 2 lands. No, I think I need to, like... They have Karn Liberated, so there's a good chance I could just bounce that, bounce Torpor Orb, and then flicker the Venser, bounce the Ugin. You grab Sundering Titan. And then they can plus here, Ephemerate the Venser. They have not played a land, so if I bounce the land, they can they can orb. So I guess I just bounce the Ugin. I'm stunned. I am stunned that my opponent is just like not playing Torpor. I guess I'm going to. Oh, I need to Ephemerate this Venser. I need to Ephemerate this Venser so that I can Eternal Witness the Ephemerate. Kind of need to draw another Ephemerate, I'm not sure. So, what do we do here? I can go Eternal Witness, get it back Ephemerate, I can play another 3-drop. I can get Eternal Witness for Time Warp also and have Ephemerate up. Bounce a Tron land, pass. And then I finally get Torpor Orbed. I can also try to Coco into my Meddling Mage. I think that this is the line. Weapon to Sundring's ETB effect. It never ETB'd. YOLO the Coco. I think that this is my line. Maybe I just need to like draw another Time Warp and I just, you know, beat down. If I bounce the Tron lands, I'll just Torpor me, bounce the Forest. Yeah, just the bait out the card instead. Maybe that is better. I don't know. It's weird for that to be better. Kill Karn first. I can't kill Karn. This was summoning because I ephemerated in my upkeep. Yeah, but my plan is I think just like draw another Time Warp in the next few cards. Would be pretty crazy to be 2-0 against Torpor Orb with the deck. Alright, so I'll attack. I didn't draw the Time Warp. My deck is pretty anemic at this point. They can cast a Ugin next turn. I think I just am gonna YOLO, hope to hit my Meddling Mage, I guess. Alright, pretty toast. Game 3 on the play, though. So, very happy anniversary. Good year to you. I should probably concede, right? They're just going to cast their Ugin again. Yeah, maybe it was just better to, like... hope they don't cast the Orb again. Okay, I think I'm going to be interested in, like... maybe just the mages on the play, then. Name Karn the Great Creator. Okay, I really love that we have Hierarch and Venser in our opening hand on the play against Tron, and a Tron player who has a pretty loose range. We don't have a second land. We have an Ice-Fang to cantrip. We have Time Warp. This hand has just such crazy upside. I think I keep, yeah. Like, we have the Venser, we have the Hierarch, we have cantrips. Hope to high roll a little bit, or a lot of bit. Yeah, maybe they boarded in the Orb, but now they're at 61. Okay, missed. Hit. I think I am going to get the Bant Triumph in the turn, because it's not like a great top deck anyways. If we end up drawing any untapped land next turn, that is effect... oh, they have Dismember? Oh, man. Well, I guess I'm glad they didn't Dismember turn 1. I did use Meddling Mage last game. I did use Coco to try to find Meddling Mage last game. I don't know what you're talking about. I literally did do that. I just didn't hit the Meddling Mage. Okay. I have Tron. Need a land. Founder land. Hopefully it's fast enough. Ulapog. Fuck. Damn it. Yeah, this is just obviously exactly what we needed to dodge. We're better against like every other payoff here. Feels bad. We actually, this is actually maybe still fine. Hold on, this is maybe still fine. Because we ripped the land off the top. Obviously very lucky. But now we just have them off of Tron. I guess we maybe have to draw like another flicker effect. Because we can't double flicker the Venser with 2 Soulherders. So if I bounce, I can't bounce Ulamog next turn. But maybe I could just like chump block with a wall, get hit mill for 20 twice. But maybe I'm drawing too many cards. Company, I can't cast Company. If I draw Ephemerate, we're doing fine. If I draw Glasspool Mimic, I'm doing fine. If I draw Deputy of Detention, I'm doing fine! Let's go! And before second Dismember, but let's go! What a match. Yes! Oh, man, I cannot believe we ripped land into Deputy of Detention for the 4-0. So we 4-1'd our first 2 leagues. We're currently 4-0. Let's go ahead and get a prediction live. That was a... I think we would also would have, like, lost game 1 to... There's a good chance we would have lost game 1 to a more experienced Trump player. And we got pretty lucky against Living In too, but who cares? We're 4-0. Prediction live. Let's keep this hand. At least that would be my first draft, you know. But I know I would not play any Ionize. I'd probably play Piece of the Puzzle over Ionize, cut the Vision, cut the Awakening, play 3 Dig, 2 Temporal Trespass, play 3 Expansion Explosion, 2 Galvanic Iteration, or maybe 3 Iteration, 2 Expansion Explosion. Unless I'm just misunderstanding how the route combo works, but I believe that it does work with that card. Could also maybe play 22 lands, but probably fine. I like the Niv in the board. I would play Unlicensed. Oh, so I guess you can't crew the Hearse, so maybe the Lantern is fine. Okay, my opponent's gone. Turn 1, Lair of the Hydra in our 4-0 match. Oh, it's Punt. What is Punt up to, huh? I think I'm just getting a basic Forest here. Oh, just Titan? I guess so, yeah. Punt usually plays Titan. Boring. Oh, another Venser matchup, though. Okay, so let me go... Temple Garden Soulherder. Definitely going to be looking for some Solitudes, game 1. Time Warp, game 1. Iteration doesn't work. Okay, so yeah, if that... Sorry, I guess I just don't understand how the combo works exactly. Okay, big draw step here. Try to think. And then at the very least, I don't recommend the Trespass plan then. I don't like Ionize. I would certainly really recommend trying to find like anything besides Ionize though. Like 4 Is a Charm, 6 1-mana burn spells, probably a better way to go. Spell Pierce even. Okay, I feel like my opponent's just gonna get double Valakut, and then if we could draw, we maybe have a turn to draw exactly Solitude, but probably going to next game. Yeah, but we do have Venser Meddling Mage at the board for this matchup. Oh, everything at me probably means I'm dead, right? 12 damage, then just another land drop kills me. Okay, so 4th Solitude, 3rd Time Warp, 2 Vensers, 2 Meddling Mage. Probably Knight of Autumn too. Maybe also the Deputy, but let me cut the Endurances for sure. Wall of Blossoms for sure. Good chance we cut the 4th Collected Company when we're bringing in all these extra 5-drops and stuff. Probably cut the 4th Wall of Omens. And then Deputy of Detention versus Knight of Autumn is kind of interesting. Like, this does exile the Titans, does exile the Dryads, hits Amulet. That's actually probably good enough to play the 3rd copy of. Then can maybe cut the 2nd Mimic. What's our Coco hit looking like? 33, -6, 27, it's fine. Although maybe I'm just like... Hey, go down one Soulherder. No, I need Soulherder Venser. Maybe just cut all the walls. Still have Ice-Fang. Kind of low on white cards for Solitude, maybe? No, we should have plenty. For 15? No, more than that. 17? That's fine. Okay. Oh, plus the Meddling Mage is 20. Excited. Great hand. Keep. Sneep. Really want to get the first trophy of this deck. We've 4-1 our first 2 leagues. Fortunately, we have Deputy in hand, not Knight of Autumn. So I think I'm just going to main phase Ice-Fang. Maybe I find Hierarch. Maybe I find Tap Lands. That's not too bad, though. Oh, I'm hoping that Punt just goes, like, Bounce Land on turn 2. Second Saga, okay. So we get my Triumph. Probably just main phase bounce the Saga. I could also Coco looking for Knight, but I think it's better to Venser because now I can hit Soulherder off my Coco and then just flicker the Venser. Yeah, it does feel nice that like the 3 matchups I want to dodge are living in Tron Titan, and we're currently 2-0 against those 2 decks. We're playing the 3rd one. I do think the Venser is really big boon to the sideboard here. We didn't have them on Friday. Okay. So if I don't Deputy the Amulet of Vigor next turn and my opponent has a bounce land, we could just lose. No, I guess I have Solitude white card. Yeah, I have Solitude white card. And I have outs to Knight of Autumn. I have outs to Deputy. I have outs to Soulherder. You want to fetch to Thin first, though. Wow, both. Kind of unreal. Oh, sorry. I meant to play my second Hierarch first. Too excited. And I guess I should just be able to. I should just kill the amulet here. I don't need to kill the Saga before it gets to next chapter. Oh, that's my instep. Okay. Forgot to play my Hierarch. Too excited. Havoc, 12 months. Appreciate you. Alright, pretty good hits. So Island Star. Yeah, all our basics are snow. Okay. I think I like my sideboard plan. Though my company hits are kind of low. Whatever. You trimmed one. Okay, we've got Meddling Mage on turn 2. Or Demoligan. And keep. Could name a Boreal Grazer. Sakura Trivel there, what the hell? No, they grazered before I could name it. Alright, I'm gonna name the Titan. Come on, Chris. Awesome Vivix. Very cool. Looks like I can transmute T-West. I guess they can go like Summer's Pact for Dryad, and then like plan to crack map for Valakut. Which is pretty scary. So if they go crack map for Valakut, Dryad 2 land drops, that's still 1 land shy of triggering Valakut. So I think this turn I'm just gonna go Soulherder, and then I could name Summoner's Pact with Meddling Mage. If they just let this resolve. Does get Valakut. I think I just named Summoner's Pact. Obviously, Punts could easily have a Titan in hand. Naming Summoner's Pact isn't so bad anyways. I agree it feels like they have a Titan in the hand, but they definitely have a Summoner's Pact. Fuck. And it's Valakut. Valakut, Summoner's Pact, 2 mystery cards. Doesn't have a Titan. Let's go. Let's go. Slamming the company. Hoping to hit Knight of Autumn, Deputy of Detention. Meddling Mage. 2 Ice-Fangs. And 1 Hierarch. I think I'll take Hierarch Ice-Fang. Lets me attack. What does Summoner's Pact do for them here rather than play around Titan in hand? It lets them go. They can get Dryad Valakut going. We also know that's a card that they have in their hand for sure. They can get Cultivator Colossus. I don't know. We don't know that they didn't have the Titan in the hand. This ended up working out really well, right? Before we were just guessing. All right, now I have Solitude white card, which is huge. I think I just main phase Coco. Or maybe just go Glasspool, Mimic, copy Mage, play Ice-Fang, actually. Maybe play Ice-Fang first. Now I can just name Primeval Titan. Glasspool, oh, and then copy... Then flicker this mage named Dryad. But then my opponent can go Summoner's Pact for Cultivator Colossus. But do I even care about that? Do I even care about that? I mean, I have Solitude for Dryad, actually. I have Solitude for Dryad, so I don't think I should do that. Yeah, I don't need to be that worried. I have 2 Solitudes now. Dude, what a game. What a game. Yeah, I could be Cultivator, but the Dryad also just doesn't do anything because of the Solitudes, so I don't think I need to, again, be very scared of it. Another Meddling Mage. I think I'm just going to Coco. I just don't think the next Meddling Mage does much. Although if I draw a land off this Ice-Fang, I'll cast the Mage, I guess. Mark, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. What if I name, like... What's the... Fire Spouts? I'm gonna name Fire Spouts. Fire Spout. I just don't care about Dryad here at all. You are already dead. Good one. Engineered Explosives. That might be the better name. Dismember, yeah. Got him dead next turn, though. Could have also have Solitude the Grazer, so Dismember's not an out. I mean, Fire Spout is probably the scariest of all of them, right? E's good too, though. So that must have been the draw for turn, right? And it's still Summoner's Pact, 2 mystery cards. Alright, we win. We... Just show them any of my lethal spells here. 5-0, baby! So we are currently 13-2 at this list, although we changed some sideboard cards between this stream and Friday's stream. Pretty excited. Let's run it back. Oh, and we opened a Wrenn and 6, and a Cultivator Classic Hierarch, Glimpse, Leyline, 2 Leylines. Both of the good ones. Very good chests. Let's go. Probably would have lost that Tron player, though, if they were more experienced, I'll say. But, pay out the prediction.